Well, since 2020, Illinois residents have been fleeing the state at an alarming rate. Skyrocketing housing costs are a big reason. CBN's Paul Petit is in the Windy City with a closer look at the other factors behind the mass exodus.
Anthony and Lisa Nicholas are only two of about 174,000 Illinois residents who have left since 2020.
It is a sweet home, and it's a place where, if it wasn't as bad politically, the political landscape, taxes, all these factors, I would have stayed in Illinois.
That, along with a new business opportunity, warmer weather, and a lower cost of living, is proving this Chicago couple made a sound decision in moving to Northwest Arkansas.
I'd say that it's fifth of the cost of living. It's probably a fifth of the cost of many things.
This new three-bedroom home they bought for $360,000 is a prime example.
In Chicago, this would probably be anywhere between $500,000 to $600,000, depending on your location.
High housing costs are a big reason. The top three states losing the most residents are New York, California, and Illinois. And according to figures recently released by the U.S. Census Bureau, the land of Lincoln has seen its population decline for 10 consecutive years, suffering losses in 87 of its 102 counties.
The Census Bureau actually surveys movers every year and asks them why they're moving, but they don't ask the tax question. But there's no doubt that costs have a big impact.
And when it comes to California, New York, and Illinois, Edwards sees a common denominator.
We have very detailed data on interstate migration. There's no doubt that some of the biggest states that are politically left of center, like California and Illinois and New York, there are large amounts of people leaving to move to other states every year.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, though, disputes those census numbers, earning him the label census denier. He claims the homeless, recent migrants, and people that are hard to reach were not counted.
2 plus 2 will always equal 4, no matter how you try to spin it. And 3 minus 2 is 1. Numbers don't lie. And if people are leaving, no matter what you're doing to try and bring the numbers up, that still shows that there's something happening in our state that is pushing people away. They are voting with their feet.
They'll say people are moving out of our state because it's cold and northerly. But to me, the message should be, well, that's right, and there's nothing you can do about that. But what policymakers can do something about is the efficiency and leanness of their government, and they can do something about tax levels.
Anthony says his father-in-law could soon follow his lead and also leave Illinois. Among his many reasons, overbearing property taxes.
Taxes are almost at $40,000 annually, and that's
for his home?
For his home.
Wow.
That's huge. I mean, when you look at here in Northwest Arkansas, I know that our taxes are anywhere between $3,500 and $5,000.
Then there's the brutal daily traffic.
I want to say that was maybe 10 to 15 miles, maybe even less, maybe 8 to 10 miles, let's put it that way. And it took me almost 2 hours to get back. An hour to the city, an hour back.
And that really adds up given sky-high gas prices, upwards to $1 more per gallon in Illinois compared to its neighbor to the northwest, Wisconsin. Beyond the numbers, Anthony feels the political and spiritual environment is also unwelcome.
Chicago has a lot of dark areas where they're politically focused and they drive in the LGBTQ communities, and that's what actually probably pushes down a lot of the faith-based Christian focus. It's very suppressed.
Although his sweet hometown of Chicago remains special, much like the many others who've left Illinois, he sees it as a great place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there. In Chicago, Paul Petit, CBN News.
Well, at that tax rate, I don't know anyone who would want to live there. That is absolutely oppressive. There used to be a calculation at what point in time in the year was your paycheck actually your paycheck. And we're getting so many surprise taxes now, whether it's increase in real estate taxes, increase in sales taxes, the income tax, the Social Security tax, the new Obamacare tax. All of these things are adding up. And when it adds up to where you look at it and say, well, what am I working for? What is this really going to do for me? Well, then you absolutely are going to flee to tax havens where you're not under that oppressive burden. So it's no surprise, it shouldn't be any surprise to the politicians in Illinois, nor should it be a surprise to the politicians in California. These things have impact, and they have impact on average Americans. This isn't impact on the wealthiest. This is impact on people who make a living through a wage. And when you have that kind of tax burden, you just can't afford it.